Astrophobia is a fear of the sky, space, and stars. A person with astrophobia cannot go outside at night, look above the stars, and also cannot watch movies about space. Just imagine we know nothing about space and there can be anything there, and also in planets, in which around us there can be anything inside. This fear is caused precisely by the unknown, the fear of it. Today we will study space horrors, where the same astrophobia will be involved. It is not so widespread, so if you felt it, you are afraid to watch, then write about it in the comments. It will be interesting to see how many of you. Before the video begins, I ask you to subscribe to my channel. We are going to the goal of 5,000 subscribers. We are getting closer little by little, so please guys, subscribe. Don't forget to put your like, because it is very simple, and we move on to the analysis. The first horror from animator Mr. Friend. I advise everyone to watch the original, link to the author in the description. It all starts from inside the spaceship. The main character is watching the moon. For some reason, he looks at it so intently as if he suspected something. To his right is the second pilot, who is setting something up and then says, "There are 4 hours left until arrival, just hold on tight." Then the second pilot transmits information to the command, but it is difficult to understand what he is saying. From a couple of phrases, I understood that Apollo 11 is ready to land. The main character notices that the moon has moved. It was a little to the left, and then eyes and a mouth appear on its surface. From the cameras, the pilots begin to broadcast all this to the command, and they themselves do not understand what it is. The second pilot shouts, "Apollo 11, the operation is cancelled." Apparently, they wanted to land on the moon, but it came to life. With a crazy smile, the moon moves towards the Earth, and the two pilots seem to understand that they are about to die. They try to transmit information to Earth that the moon is moving towards them, but it is too late, and it is getting closer and closer. And then the moon's gravity starts to work, which first turns off the navigation and then breaks the ship. The guys try to do anything to save themselves, but nothing works. In the end, the ship's door is torn apart, and those who were there fly out into outer space. The main character is circled in space for a long time, but then he stabilizes and watches as the moon approaches the Earth. The view of the face switches to a satellite, which is closer to the planet. The satellite camera turns. Most likely some person begins surveillance directly from planet Earth. The moon's grin is replaced by horror, as if she is anticipating how she will be carried out into the Earth. And this happens. A powerful explosion occurs from the impact, which destroys the planet, and the moon continues to bite into the Earth. The satellite camera turns to the right to look at other planets. The horror ends with the planets around our Earth starting to come to life. But why did this happen? The astronaut team wanted to go to the moon to land on it, but it seems the moon was against it and decided to come to life. I have a little theory about this universe. Here, satellites and other planets are living organisms that they were waiting for something. The core of the Earth itself is gradually cooling down, although slightly, but it happens. I think that they were waiting for the moment when it cools down to devour it. The Earth itself was not a living organism, it was food for other alien objects. You can't call them planets, they are alien creatures that pretended to be planets and came to life at the right moment. For an astrophobe, this is probably the main fear of seeing a planet near the Earth come to life, or the moon satellite come to life. To be honest, I was shocked myself when I saw this animation for the first time, exactly the moment when eyes and a mouth appeared on the moon. Of course, this is the maximum mysticism of the conventions of this universe that Mr. Friend talks about. He invented it. In these conventions of this universe, perhaps you have theories, so write them in the comments. I have already voiced my theory. The next horror is also from Mr. Friend, and it is called Naked Eaters of Giant Planets. Horror is also associated with astrophobia, but it is more real. What if somewhere far away among the stars there are creatures that feed on planets? We eat food, we need it to survive, and they need to devour the cores of planets, well, and the planets themselves, to survive. A natural process. It all begins with a demonstration of a black hole. I think that this is where these giant creatures crawled out from. On behalf of humanity, the announcer says, 6 days have passed since this giant creature, which is called Goliath, appeared. It is 20,000 kilometers from the Earth, and after its appearance it has not moved at all, and we do not know its intentions. The presenters, specialists, scientists, astrophysicists are trying to understand what is happening, but nothing works. Meanwhile, cataclysms, tsunamis, storms occur on the surface of the Earth, all because of the attraction of Goliath. Central Europe and Asia suffered the most. A satellite was sent into space, through which this creature is now being monitored. Nothing has happened in the last few days, but then we notice something. The giant mouth on Goliath's belly has opened. All hopes that Goliath had friendly intentions are completely destroyed. Unrest and looting begin in the world, and Goliath is getting closer to begin his meal. God help us. We, in turn, watch as the giant Goliath moves toward the ground and his tongue plunges into it. Then he uses his jaws to fix himself and continue his meal. What is more interesting is that Goliath is not a unique creature, he is an alien, of which there are many. And we understand this in a second. His brother appears, who also wants to feast on planet Earth. Apparently, the speed of their movement is very fast because people did not even notice that there is a second Goliath. They would have definitely seen him, but he moved too fast, and he started devouring the Earth with his brother holding hands. That's how it looks from the outside. And yes, they are very big. You can tell from this shot. They don't care if this planet is inhabited. After all, they devour absolutely everything in our universe. Alien invaders came to our universe to devour absolutely everything. And this is not the first adventure. Far, far away, we watch these monsters devour other planets. Although it is strange to call them alien invaders, aren't they alien eaters? As I said at the beginning, they eat like us. We eat food, any food, in order to survive, and they eat in order to survive. They are voracious. We can even look at them and notice that they are of a dense build, which means that they love to eat. What is more interesting is that they move quickly. We didn't see his brother arrive on Earth. Earthlings would have seen it and would have known that there were actually 2 Goliaths, but they didn't notice. The meal only began after Goliath had waited 7 days, which means that he was most likely waiting for his brothers to eat together. They are fast, but not fast enough to teleport in a second, so they were moving towards our universe all this time. Could this happen in our reality? Planet eaters? I think so. Of course, this whole animation looks like fantasy, but imagine something more real instead of these creatures. They teleported closer with the help of a black hole. It is with their help that they teleport to other universes that are far away. For them, a black hole is a kind of portal that they can withstand. If an ordinary person jumps into a black hole, he will be torn apart. With these creatures, everything is different. They are too dense to be torn apart, and they easily overcame it. I think Mr. Friend was right to show us the black hole at the beginning. I'm even afraid to imagine what will happen if such a creature arrives in our world and starts devouring everything around it. Perhaps we will notice it when they are devouring neighboring universes, but perhaps we will not notice. And suddenly an alien will appear who will simply devour us. Yes, if you have astrophobia, I do not envy you. After watching this horror in the original, and even in my analysis, you are probably scared. Well, people with megalophobia will also be completely shocked. Yes, I myself become anxious when watching such horrors, although I understand that most likely I will not see such a thing in my lifetime. But you know, everything is possible. The next horror is called Alien Destroyed Earth and Mars. Here, people from the future watch Mars fly towards Earth direct course. It will destroy it. In this universe, people have evolved to the point where they can watch their planet being destroyed by another planet. This is the distant future. But then we see a gap open, an alien comes out of it, who stops the collision process. Of course, people are in shock, but most likely they are grateful to this creature. After all, it literally saved the planet from complete destruction. It sends Mars away, and then looks at those very people who watched the death of the planet. People immediately felt fear, because it is somehow not very good to watch a planet that is about to be destroyed. After all, there are people there too. Alien, it seems, decided to take revenge. He took the moon into his hands and launched it into the ship which was watching the death. But here everything is already clear to us. The moon reaches the ship and everyone inside is finished. It's not very nice to watch the planet die, which is what this alien realized. And the people who are in the ship are rich members of society who can afford to watch the planet's destruction. And I don't even feel sorry for the people who are sitting in that ship. The alien decided to help, but then decided to punish. And by the way, in the next animation, this alien creature returns. Several astronauts were moving around the moon and then they noticed a portal in a hand. This hand took the planet Earth. Communication with the astronauts was immediately lost. This time the alien decided to take the Earth. Of course, there will be no plot here. We are simply watching a terrible situation where an alien creature does whatever it wants because its powers allow it to do so. This can also happen in the real world. Alien creatures have achieved teleportation technologies across universes, and they can simply teleport to us. And what they will do is difficult to understand. They can destroy the Earth, take its resources, enslave it, or help us. It is simply impossible to predict here. Of course, there are still animations left, and if you want me to make a sequel, then put your like and write in the comments that this is necessary. Well, and do not forget to write in the comments which animation you like more, with the moon, with the giant that ate the Earth, or with the alien from the latest space horror. Personally, I like the animation with the moon the most. It is the last one by this author. Well, and probably the highest quality. I hope in the future he will make some cool multi-episode. And here my video is coming to an end. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. We are going to the goal of 200,000 subscribers. Please guys, subscribe. Do not forget to put your like. Bye-bye.